Hey coin collectors and history buffs, welcome back to our channel where we dig deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting. Today we're diving into the top 4 most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies. We'll cover their history, why they're so rare, and just how much they're worth today. If you've got a penny jar at home, you might want to check it after this video. Who knows, you might be sitting on a small fortune. 1937 DWE Penny. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, these pennies feature Lincoln's bust on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat. On the reverse, a design that became iconic and was produced until 1958. The 1937 D penny comes from the Denver Mint, signified by the small d just below the year. Denver Mint coins are known for having great quality strikes, and the 1937 D is no exception. So what was happening in 1937 when this penny was struck? The United States was still recovering from the Great Depression, and though the economy was slowly improving, people were still very cautious about money. Every penny truly counted, and the Lincoln Wheat Penny was a coin found in nearly every pocket. The Denver Mint struck over 50 million pennies in 1937, 50,430,000 to be exact. While that might seem like a huge number, it still means that this penny is a bit scarcer compared to some other years. But how does its value hold up today? Let's get into that. Just like any coin, the condition of the 1937 D Lincoln Wheat Penny plays a big role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor P1 to mint state MS70. Most 1937 D pennies found today are in circulated condition, meaning they show signs of wear and tear. A heavily worn 1937 D penny in good condition might only be worth around 10 to 20 cents. But if you have a penny in higher grades like very fine or extremely fine, you could be looking at a value between $1 and $3. Now, if you're lucky enough to have a mint state coin, meaning no signs of wear, you're really in the money. A 1937 D Lincoln Wheat Penny graded MS65 can be worth $20 to $30, and some even fetch over $100 if they have particularly strong strikes or brilliant red color dot when examining your 1937 D penny. Pay attention to the sharpness of Lincoln's profile and the definition in the wheat stalks. A strong strike with crisp details increases the coin's value. Now let's talk about errors. Collectors are always on the lookout for error coins, and the 1937 D penny is no exception. One error to watch for is the repunched mint mark, where the D was stamped more than once, creating a slight doubling effect. If you have a repunched mint mark, the value could rise significantly, sometimes fetching $50 to $200 depending on the condition. 1951 D Wheat Penny. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was first minted in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner. The wheat ears on the reverse represent prosperity and growth for the nation. In 1951, the Denver Mint struck the D Mint marked Lincoln Wheat Penny. More than 625 million of these pennies were produced that year, making it one of the most common wheat pennies of the 1950s. But even with such high production, certain factors can make a 1951 D penny valuable. Let's take a closer look at the design. The obverse side, or the front of the penny, features President Lincoln's iconic profile, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty" in the year 1951. Below the date, you'll find the D Mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver. On the reverse, you'll notice the wheat ears flanking the words 1 cent in United States of America, along with the motto "E pluribus unum," which means out of many. This reverse design was used from 1909 to 1958, so it's a classic look for coin collectors. As we mentioned earlier, over 625 million 1951 D pennies were struck, which means they aren't particularly rare in circulated condition. However, coins in high-grade uncirculated or mint state can be harder to find. When it comes to wheat pennies, the condition or grade makes all the difference. A coin-graded good might just be worth face value, but in higher grades such as mint state MS, the value can increase significantly. If you have a 1951 D penny in pristine condition, it could be worth more than you think. All right, let's talk numbers. If your 1951 D penny is in circulated condition, its value is generally around 3 to 10 cents. But if you have a mint state coin graded MS65 or higher, it can be worth anywhere from $5 to $20 or more, depending on the condition and demand. And if you're lucky enough to have a coin with a rare error such as a die break or doubling in the lettering, the value could jump even higher. Some error pennies can go for hundreds of dollars at auctions. If you think you have a valuable 1951 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, it's important to get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Proper grading will help you know its true value. And if you're building a coin collection, don't forget to store your pennies properly to prevent damage. Use coin holders, tubes, or albums to keep them safe from scratches and tarnishing. So there you have it, the history, design, and value of the 1951 D Lincoln Wheat Penny. Whether you're just getting started with coin collecting or you've been at it for years, the 1951 D is a great piece to add to your collection. Make sure to double check your old pennies. You might have a hidden treasure waiting for you. 1953 D Wheat Penny. Now let's focus on the 1953 D Wheat Penny. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was struck. Over 700 million of these pennies were minted that year, making it a common coin, but don't let that fool you. There are still some valuable ones out there. 1953 was a significant time in American history. Dwight D. Eisenhower was the president, the Korean War had just ended, and the U.S. was experiencing a post-war boom. During this time, the Denver Mint produced a large number of wheat pennies, including the 1953 D as part of America's thriving economy. The Denver Mint was known for producing durable, high-quality coins, and the 1953 D is no exception. However, due to the high number minted, most of these pennies saw heavy circulation, making well-preserved examples rarer today. Before we talk about value, let's go over how to identify a 1953 D wheat penny. First, check the obverse, which features Lincoln's portrait. The key date is right below his bust, with the D mint mark just below the year. On the reverse, you'll see the iconic wheat stalks, framing the words 1 cent in United States of America. You might also spot the motto E pluribus unum above the design. Condition is everything when it comes to value. Pay attention to the penny's overall wear, any nicks, scratches, or even discoloration. Now let's talk about the big question: what is your 1953 D wheat penny worth? In circulated condition, most 1953 D pennies are worth around 3 to 10 cents. If your coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, it can be worth significantly more. A mint state 1953 D can range between $5 to $10. However, if your penny is graded MS65 or higher, it could be valued between $20 and $50. Of course, rarity plays a role too. There are error coins that can make a regular 1953 D penny worth much more. Look out for double dies, repunched mint marks, or other striking errors. If you find one of these, the value can jump into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and condition. So, what should you do if you come across a 1953 D Lincoln wheat penny? First, check its condition and look for any errors. Even though it's a common coin, those in pristine condition or with errors can be highly valuable to collectors. 1952 D wheat penny. Let's set the stage. The year was 1952. Post-World War II, America was booming. The U.S. economy was on the rise, and the country was in the middle of the baby boom era. Coins like the 1952 D Lincoln penny were part of the everyday currency in people's pockets. At the time, the penny had significant buying power. Imagine buying a piece of candy or even a postcard for just 1 cent. The 1952 D penny was minted at the Denver Mint, and an impressive 746,130,000 pennies were produced that year. That's nearly 750 million coins. Because of this high mintage, it's not considered a particularly rare coin. However, the value can still vary depending on the condition and specific variety. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Like many coins, the 1952 D penny has some known varieties and mint errors that collectors look for. One of the most sought after errors is the D over D repunched mint mark. This happens when the D mint mark was punched onto the coin more than once, resulting in a noticeable doubling effect. If you find one of these in your collection, it could increase the value significantly. When it comes to determining the value of your 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny, the condition or grade of the coin is everything. Coins in lower grades like good or fine can be worth between 3 to 10 cents, slightly more than face value, but higher grade coins such as extra fine or those in mint state can fetch $1 to $5 or more. However, if you've got a penny with the D over D mint mark error, prices can jump. In uncirculated condition, these error coins have been known to sell for as much as $50 to $100 depending on the sharpness of the doubling. So there you have it. The 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny may not be the rarest coin in your collection, but it holds a special place in history and can still have some value, especially if you come across a well-preserved one or an error variety. Are you a proud owner of a 1952 D penny? Let us know in the comments below if you found any rare varieties or if you're still searching. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and history. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an update.